Okay, I want to speak to people that do divination and anybody that may include people that do divination that is in a twin flame union. There's a lot of different thoughts about how it happens and everything, and I believe there's a lot of people that have misconceptions about how it should happen and what's happening. And let me state that, one, I have no degree or the knowledge and education to be a marriage counselor or a relationship counselor or a counselor in any form, legally. To the spiritual community, yes, I am not very far into my spiritual journey and don't know a whole hell of a lot and got a lot of issues trying to get through it. So let me just put that disclaimer out there now. It doesn't mean that I haven't picked up on some things and could be right. What I want to state is, for people that have a rigid mindset of how it's supposed to happen and what the meaning of it is and all that, maybe you should reevaluate it, because one, and most of what I'm going to say is just me posing this possibility, but I'm about to state what I truly believe is correct. And then after that, I don't really know. I truly believe that overall, no matter what, and the outcome is okay, however the outcome ends, even if it doesn't follow the contract, as long as the healing's done. Because ultimately, I believe that's all it's really about, is the healing, so that we are able to raise our vibration up at a higher level, and that's all that really matters. I've been told that the twin flame union, fully healed, together or not together, they increase each other's vibration at a higher level than the normal spiritual person. I don't know that to be a fact. I could see where it would be, just logically, but logic has very little to do with spirituality. And I don't say that in a bad way, because logic doesn't explain everything. But I think the intention and the meaning and everything is the healing. Aside from that, people have their own idea of whether it ends in a union or just with closure or whatever. I think first thing we need to remember before you want to form an opinion of, oh, they never come together, or yes, they always come together if they do the right thing. I think we need to remember that there's a contract. And nobody knows. I mean, we don't know what that contract is, and I think it can be different in each union. So that right there makes me feel like you can't just say, oh no, they're never meant to come together. Well, okay. I've heard people say, well, no, they don't come together because you're just supposed to learn your lessons and heal. Well, isn't that karmic? I mean, that's the same thing as the karmic. What would be the difference? So I think there's always a possibility of coming together. And if you're one of those people that want that, I just realized earlier today, because I'm one of those people that want that. I wasn't spiritual when I started interacting with my twin flame. And immediately, like instantly, I knew there was some kind of a connection that my soul had longed for since birth. I didn't know why, but I knew that person was perfect for me. Like, I couldn't have dreamt up the ideal person any better. Okay? Well, we had a great time. It went bad, ran. You know the story. It happens with everybody. Well, I've kept the desire to come back together. That's what I want. And I realized earlier that even if I get myself healed to the point where I would, you know, be able to be at that right vibration spiritually to be back in union, even if she does, it could still not happen because of one overlooked aspect, and that is you can have the desire to reconnect, but you can't have the expectation of outcome, because that's the way you manifest, with no expectation of outcome. Because then you're setting parameters that you have no knowledge of how you could come back together. But if you're setting parameters of how the outcome is going to be, you're basically tying the hands of the universe. It may not be able to make it happen in what you expect. So it won't. So it's okay to have that desire to come back together, because I don't think you could get rid of it. There's no way I could ever get rid of that desire. But I do have to learn how to not have that expectation, or the expectation of how it could happen. So, and we never know. I mean, you don't know what your other half feels and thinks. We have a connection, and there's a lot of things that we pick up on from our twin. Like, I've heard people, be able to tell what they're eating, or, and we've all had the flashes of them doing different things and know what they're doing, especially in the time during their, running, where they're being really toxic. It's not always easy dealing with that. And on the flip side of this, there's those people that are like, nah, man, they done me dirty. I'm done. I want nothing. And you have the expectation of never seeing them again. That's what you desire. So you too are also having an expectation of outcome. So what you want may not happen. What are you going to do when they show up? And they're healed. They're ready to apologize, take ownership, and they want you back. And now you are flooded with all these feelings that you can't figure out, because you come to terms with, I don't like them, I don't want them. But no matter what, when your twin wants to reconnect with you, there's always the connection. It creates feelings in you that will confuse you and probably cause you to have a tower moment. Avoid that. Don't have an expectation. Let go of those hard feelings. Let go of those feelings of, we have to be together, for everybody. Nobody can tell what's going to happen. That's why the universe tells us, don't have an expectation of outcome. Because the universe is going to make happen what the universe wants to make happen. And all you're going to do by expecting an outcome of a certain way is screw it up.